I will get started. Within the Crown Prosecution Service, as we all know, there's a staff structure. However, from obviously the server itself, it is only believed to have a Director of Public Prosecution, which is the Marquis of Lothian. However, there's vacancies of the Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions. There is no Chief Crown Prosecutor for Serious and Organised Crime. There is no Chief Crown Prosecutor for Counter-Terrorism Division, which I personally believe is a position that needs to be filled, especially with what's happened in recent weeks. And the list goes on. Will the Justice Secretary comment on this?
Before we come to the Justice Secretary, I would like to remind members that this is a period of debate, not a period of questioning. So, I'm going to remind members that questions are not in order at this time. So I will still call the Justice Secretary, but he is not permitted to answer the question. Justice Secretary.
I understand. I was just in the zone.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. The fact of the matter is the Crown Prosecution Service is fully operational and prepared. The matter is the Crown Prosecutions, the Duke of Westminster. These positions merely assist a Director of Public Prosecutions, and the roles are fully at the discretion of the Director of Public Prosecutions. We're not willing to interfere in this unless if it becomes absolutely necessary, and I do not see it as absolutely necessary. Otherwise, the Crown Prosecution Service is fully operational and ready to take on the crimes that we will report when the time is right, after the recent terrorist attacks, and we'll report those crimes the moment our intelligence services give us the go-ahead to do so.
Hey!
Just give me a moment.
Does Ruben have anything to add? Because we know he likes...
members, I have just been informed, and I have been asked to remind members that today's proceedings are being broadcast live on Parliament Live TV, so I therefore ask members to please behave accordingly.
Yeah.
First Secretary of State.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's ironic that during a debate on justice and this Crown Prosecution Service, we're hearing lots from the Leader of the Opposition.
Or First Secretary of State, if you would forgive me. I must ask the right honourable lady who just sat down on the Treasury bench to please switch into parliamentary appropriate attire.
Money get off.
Hang on.
I'm just going to. First Secretary of State.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Whilst we've heard lots from the Leader of the Opposition regarding justice and this Crown Prosecution Service, we've heard absolutely nothing from the Shadow Justice Secretary, who should be debating on this topic. Shadowing. Yet he seems to be more interested in defence, apparently.
Hey.
And then we'll hear silence from him still, even after being called out.
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Yes, I have to agree with my right honourable friend. This seems to be a very concentrated matter. We don't see anything from him. We see information from his. I will update you with that list afterwards. I see the leader. It's leader of his.
Oh, fuck! Oh my god! Shit on.
I'm sorry, man. That's being broadcasted as well. I hope you know. I have to agree with my honourable friend. I see it very interesting how he's very intent on the aspect of defence, but when it comes to his actual job, shadowing myself as Justice Secretary, he's not too into it. And this seems to reflect his mannerisms in public too.
Yeah.
So what can Labour offer the Crown Prosecution Service? Well, under the Shadow Justice Secretary, clearly nothing. Under this government, we've merged the serious fraud office and the service whatever it's called, service. We've merged them into the CPS to form one greater whole, and that was done under the former Attorney General, and that's what our government is going to do continuously. It's delivering for the Crown Prosecution Service. It's delivering for public justice. It's delivering for public safety. And if the Shadow Justice Secretary has any idea what he wants to do with the CPS or the MOJ itself, I'm sure he knows fine well what to say. But he's not going to stand, and we all know it. Just like that.
Out twice.
Motion to
Still
amend.
complete
Leader
silence.
of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Now, I think there's one question that the British people really do want to know. Obviously, we've had all these terrorist attacks. However, if some of them have been arrested, when are we going to start prosecuting them and getting the British people justice after the attack on the capital city? Because I personally believe this is an absolute issue, because the British people deserve justice, and I hope the government do understand that as well.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Clark, I have continuously and repeatedly stated to this House and now to the British people who are watching this broadcast that we are not going to prosecute until the intelligence services give us the go-ahead. We are in the process of collecting very key information to ensure that we can bring down the terrorist organisation from inside, prosecute its leadership, and stop it fully in its tracks. We cannot rush this business. As much as I tell the Foreign Office and the Home Office that we need to get cracking, and we've received multiple updates from the relevant services by requesting updates from the multiple services, we cannot rush this very delicate procedure, and we don't intend to. They will be prosecuted. They will be prosecuted, or at least submitted to the Crown Prosecution Service for prosecution before the end of this parliamentary term. Hopefully within the next week, but if not, into the next week after that. But that's the dedication and the due care that we must take to ensure that we can properly take this organisation down once and for all.
Oh my God! There we go.
Leader of the opposition.
Well, I understand that obviously intelligence needs to do their job. However, the fact is, we all know that there's still going to be people or accomplices still out there. Obviously, we haven't seen any attacks in recent weeks because obviously the main ones are being done. However, when the prosecutions do come alive, can this government even assure us that we've got the manpower within the justice sector that can put these people away? Because honestly, when we come to numbers from Her Majesty's Court and Tribunal server, it seems that we have only 8 barristers, 2 Crown prosecutors, and I don't see any judges there so far. And then also in the Minister of Justice server, we see 11 barristers. However, as you can see, some of the numbers are quite different. So it also shows there may be some inactivity within these roles. So although he can talk all about intelligence, whilst we're waiting for this intelligence, the government say, why can't we get this prepared and get applications sorted so we can get ready to prosecute these terrorists who enter our country?
The leader of the opposition. This is the second time now. This is not a period of questions. This is a period of debate. So I must. Yes, it was. It was indeed a question. I don't care if you think it wasn't. I think it was. In my opinion, it's the one that matters, not yours. I'm going to ask you to withdraw the question, and then we're going to go to the Prime Minister for his
I
point of
withdraw
debate.
respect of the chair.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Very simply, if the civil service, which I have instructed to sort out our servers, haven't done their job, then that is something I will be following up. Very simply, we have a Lady Chief Justice, Viscountess Hayes of Crawshaw, who I have contacted recently. And if push does come to shove, he will oversee the proceedings. What are you doing? I'm not even asking. The bar exam's completely optional. The bar exam has been put out there. If we've only got 11 or 8 barristers, whichever the number is, I failed to see a really decent point there. But if you've only got 8 or 11 barristers, that's because there's not enough interest in the sector. And that isn't our fault. That's just public mood. We are working on the assembling judges. Obviously, the Ministry of Justice is my department, and hence I am fully committed to it. I decided to take it on myself for that little bit of control freakiness. Somebody gonna match my freak. So I'm working on the appointment and recruitment of judges in due course. However, if push does come to shove, we've got a very capable Lady Chief Justice capable of carrying out the proceedings. And finally, what was the final point? What was it? Remind me.
What was your final point?
What was the final point? Crumbs. Oh, crikey. No, I can't remember it. I'm sorry, I can't remember it. I know it's been broadcasted live. I can't help it if I've just responded to 3 points. Forgot the 4th. I can't remember the 4th point. If he wants to repeat it, he can feel free.
Leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Well, I understand that the justice sector is something that obviously, if you've got to be interested into it to obviously follow through with the role. But personally, I believe it's obviously the government's role to actually make this sector interesting, make it more appealing within the roles there is. So possibly it would be quite clear for the government to do something about that instead of making up excuses.
What a load of...
Prime Minister.
Mr. Clark, how on earth are we meant to make a judicial sector more interesting? The fact of the matter is, we've requested a courtroom on Northridge that provides the realistic element to it. However, there's nothing else we can do. It's a judicial sector. The Crown Prosecution Service prosecutes criminals and issues the right documentation, and the judiciary sits and undergoes the proceedings. And it's worked fine well until now. He can accuse us of making up excuses all he likes. There is literally no other way to make a sector more interesting. If you want to make something interesting, you say to the staff team, right, add houses in Northridge, add vehicles in Northridge, add add an economy in Northridge, add jobs in Northridge, add ways for people to get money and to make money interesting by putting furniture in Northridge and houses and customizable vehicles. That's not what you can do with the judiciary. Our options are very, very slim, and we can only use what we've got. We'll advertise for judges, but if we don't get much response, as I really don't expect we will, then there's nothing else to do.
Leader of the opposition.
Well, Mr. Clerk, I will say to the right honourable gentleman that the fact is I wasn't really appealing to stuff in Roblox. However, I was more appealing maybe even creating an internal program that gives the British people who may be wanting to try the justice sector a real taste of what it is about. I don't believe the government has something in place like this so far. Why can't they initiate something like that? And then if it does come to shove where obviously no one's interested, then at least the government can say, oh yes, we've tried. At least we've tried, but it doesn't look like the government is actually trying to make it more appealing for anyone else to join the justice sector. That is just pure facts.
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Order.
I'm in draw.
First Secretary of State, this will be your final warning. I don't want to have to throw you out again, but so help me God, I will. Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. I just want to point out, I'm very hardcore noticing that these points are being delivered by the Leader of the Opposition and not the Shadow Justice Secretary. I think that readers tell you something, but I'll move on to what he says. How on earth is a trial scheme, a taster scheme, anything of that, meant to make a system more appealing? The logic isn't there. It just provides you with a little insight into what it's like. yes, it's a good
Yeah.
idea, but his argument here is completely ridiculous. There's no way that a data session is going to make people think, "Ooh, I love the judicial sector. This was way more fun than it was before, and I'm going to join it immediately," because it doesn't work like that, and it never will.
Leader of the opposition.
I think the government forget there's something called mock trials, Mr. Clerk, that will also give them the taste. I'm not exactly telling them, oh, go straight into an actual trial, but there's something called mock trials that's in place that can be implemented within an internal program. So, like I said, there's more excuses for the government, but the fact is, when it comes to this election and when Labour release their manifesto, which will be hopefully next week, and hopefully the first party to do it as well, we will initiate what our plans are for the justice, and it'll be more appealing for what rather than what the government is obviously trying to bring.
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Sorry, I'm being argued to by the bloody group staff because I don't like the group staff. Mr. Clark, Mr. Clark, mock trials are a good idea. So that's why when the ban was imposed by the staff team on crime, when the rules were imposed by the staff team saying, "Oh, crime is legal, you won't get prosecuted for it," I made the suggestion to the staff team and got it approved that we do conduct mock trials for people willing to undergo them who have been arrested. Evidently, none of them have happened. I know this. But the suggestion was put out there and it was received by the judiciary. I don't know why it didn't happen exactly, it just didn't happen. But the idea has already been surfaced there. Obviously, crime is now all legal back in illegal, back in Westminster. Well, Westminster doesn't exist anymore, does it? It got took down. But yeah, that's the fact of the matter. I'm always prepared to see an active judiciary. It just takes time. But our ideas have already been put out there. They've already been circulated. And mock trials has been one of them.
Leader of the opposition.
Mr. Clark, this will be my last point before, obviously, whatever's after. But I will mention to the right honourable gentlemen opposite me that the fact is you should take some advice of a former Prime Minister, Liz Truss. Be a fighter and not a quitter. Because the fact is, if you believe your plans will bring PB better and into a better place within the department, and you should fight for it rather than just listen to the staff team and just say, yes, I accept that. If this was a Labour government, we would fight. Stop laughing.
Thanks for an idiot. I would draw.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Give way.
If this was a Labour government and the group management was saying this is something we couldn't implement, we would fight on that. Because if we believe the government could implement
Give
this, then surely
way.
Give
group staff
way.
No,
could do it as well.
I must ask the government bench's leader of the opposition has made it abundantly clear he's not going to give way. Consistently
Didn't say
screaming
that.
"give way" over him is not going to make him give by
I said it
ignoring
once.
you.
Yeah.
No, it's not just you, it's other members. By consistently screaming "give way" over him, it's not going to make him any more likely to give way. He's made that abundantly clear. Let's hear what he has to say, leader of the opposition.
And then he's just sat down and just given up.
I'm finished. I've made my point.
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Well, we didn't cower down to the admin staff, did we? Because they're the ones who said crime is all legal, and we're the ones who said, right, let's do mock trials. That's not cowering down to the staff. I think you may have misunderstood me there. We didn't cower down to the staff. We didn't get rejected. They went with the idea that we put forward, and that's simply it. We're committed to an active CPS. We're committed to an active MLJ. Things just take time. However, by the end of this parliamentary term, in now less than 3 weeks, we will have judiciary recruitment ongoing. The CPS will be prosecuting these terrorists that have been causing carnage in London, and Britain will be safer and more judicially secure.
Mm. Interesting.
Motion
In
to adjourn.
Second.
seconds.
So the question is, that the question be put, that the motion be heard as presented, as many as
Aye.
are of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, no. I think the
Committee.
ayes have it. The ayes have it. The question is that the House do now adjourn, as many as are of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The House will now adjourn. Order. Order.
To the Lords, to the Lords, to the Lords.
Oh, the Lords
The
here.
Lords.
They are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Oh.
to
And I will walk 500 miles.
Let's go see
You
what the
can't walk at
Council
all,
and
you
Lords
fat
are up
fuck.
to.
Shut the fuck up, you dickhead. I am slim. I'm on Pilates.
Because it's
Fucking
not,
hell,
it's
mate.
not good. Why would I want my citizenship revoked by like?
Your microphone's not good.
Shush.
Fucking get a better microphone then.
You've
No. My microphone's not that bad.
So how's it going?
Good, yeah. Yeah, citizenship one was not good. Can we do the vote or something on this one though?
We're
Dude,
waiting for Baldy.
kick me out. Who do you think you are?
Huh?
We're waiting for Baldy to tell us to
Yeah.
vote.
Baldy,
Oh, well,
wake up.
I literally said content. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, I'm content with this one.
Okay, there you go.
um,
We both voted content.
It's just a better version of the citizenship one, really. The citizenship one goes too far. I don't want my citizenship taken away.
Who says it's going to be?
I mean, I reckon it would be. Media reform and declarations bill.
No, we need to go to the third reading of the bill we're currently
Oh,
on.
can we just content that like right now?
I
really-
content that as well.
Media license.
We are. Okay,
Jesus
bill
Christ,
passes
man.
its third reading. Okay, now we're on to the media uniform and declarations bill.
It's just reiterating, like, given international. Okay.
Well, I mean, hang on. Can I add? Like, you guys blocked a bill, right? Which one?
They blocked the citizenship
Citizenship
regulation bill.
Okay, but you know, if you block it, you're supposed to send amendments back to the Commons, right?
We do not.
Ask
My
them,
amendments.
not
My
me.
amendments would be deleting the entire bill. Personally,
To be fair, he's done you there.
do you want me to just send you a blank copy of a bill? 'Cause that would be the amendment.
Wait, is Baldy an authorized deputy speaker, or did you do it like?
Baldy is, yes, he's authorised. We voted on it at the start of the session.
Oh, okay. Hi, Baldy. How's it going? Oh, so where are you guys?
Right.
Do you have a piece of paper?
Just pass.
We're literally just doing all of the bills that have been sent over to the Commons.
Which one are you on now? Prevention of.
No, we're
we've,
currently on to the media and declarations bill. We're on second to last.
I'm fine with this bill. Motion to vote.
Can't wait. Motion to vote.
Public indecency, but
Can't have people exposing their Lego penises.
including femboy clothes. What?
What? No, sorry, I have to know this.
Which one? The public indecency?
No, we're on to media reform.
Oh, wait. Why are we naming the media reform one?
Media reform and declarations.
Why are you naming it?
What? No, I'm not naming it. I'm going to
okay.
name the public
Right.
indecency bill.
Have we motion to vote on this one?
That's
Yeah,
what we've
you're
just
voting
done.
right
We're
now.
voting now.
Oh, content.
Yeah.
Baldy, do you want me to say what you say so that way they hear it?
Bill passes.
I will be Baldy's voice.
I mean, if it wasn't for the, why is
Now
Why
we're on
is
to
this
the
bill
third
so weird?
reading.
Oh wait,
So we're on to the third reading of the media declaration.
let me know which ones you pass, and then I'll send them to the
So
Queen.
we've passed
After, not right
no,
after.
we don't need to debate on this, Marquess and his
motion
Anthony.
to motion
Baldy,
to
do you want to
vote
switch
on third
places?
reading of the media reform and declarations bill.
Oh, Baldy and I.
Actually, yeah, because then he can start voting. Like, why are you sitting in the clerk spot? Go into the crossbenches, you sausage.
Oh wait, no, I wouldn't sit over here. I would
Absolute-
still sit here.
Yeah, you'd still sit there. You would just do it from there.
My lords, the question is that the bill be read a third time. My lords, agree with that opinion, say content. Do the country not content? I think the content.
Why
The bill
does-
is read a third time.
Why does the house change colour when you turn off global shadows?
Does it? I don't know. The House will now come to the Public Indecency Bill. First reading, I call the Lord seal.
Second reading will be right now.
The second reading of the Public Indecency Bill, the clerk will read the title. A bill
Please
to
start.
enact measures against public indecency and for connected purposes. Second reading, Leader of the House.
He's not
I
speaking
don't
on it,
want
but
to. I don't want to.
this bill is it strips people of their human rights to self-determination. And if we bring up the Magna Carta here,
Okay, why is he referencing the Magna Carta? To a bill that specifically says femboy clothing is not allowed. He's now referencing the Magna Carta.
let me just
Yeah,
get
no,
a
no,
quote
don't
somewhere.
worry. We've got all day. We've got all day, son.
He's going to filibuster the vote, guys.
Shush. Just read it back to Carter.
He's filibustering. Oh, wait, I forgot there's sending orders. I can tell him to shut up.
The present
Yeah,
confirmed.
exactly. See?
I don't know. I don't know the Lord's standing orders, so.
Just tell him to shut up. and
If
sit
any,
down
if
and
any,
do
if any man dies
Oh,
owing
here
money
you
to Jews, his wife.
it. What?
It's the wrong one.
Order. I call the member to order.
Yeah. Give me a second. I know there's something in here.
Or
He's
by the
tricked
powers given to me under the rules and precedent of this house, I must ask the Honourable Lord to resume his seat.
Hold on, I found it. All right, I found it. No town shall be forced to build bridges over rivers except those with ancient obligations to do so. Now, this can be linked to this diabolical piece of legislation because it is stripping people of their fundamental human right to expose, to be themselves. Okay. Now, if I want to go on London in a twink outfit, then why shouldn't I be allowed to? You know, the human rights are the right to live, the right to liberty and security, the right to being equal before the law, freedom of thought, equal access, protection against discrimination, and equal pay for equal work, and born to be free. And there's also ones such as no slavery or forced labour, and freedom of expression. Now, this bill takes away that. And I think if you're putting this bill forward, you should also be repealing the Human Rights Act of 2004. (1998). I know some Tony Blaze here, so I didn't know which time. And that's why we should be nailing this bill, because if I want to dress on London as anything, then I should be allowed to. Okay. And also, who's running around London in like a skin in like naked? All right, let's be realistic here. You know. So let's. And it's also not very well written. Any individual who possesses sexually explicit content.
Can I just say what everybody's thinking? Shut up and sit down.
No. Nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. It's got discord and decency. This is not a bill we need to be passing.
Wait, does that actually? Wait, where?
Yeah, this is a moderation issue, ladies and gentlemen. Why are we writing legislation for it? I mean, if I get caught chatting up Raina in a Discord server, I think that's something for the mods, not for this Crown Prosecution Service. Therefore, I say we row this bill out.
My lords, I'm sure the Right Honourable Lord Officer knows that it is currently an offence under Section 66 of the Sexual Offences Act 2003 to expose their genitals, intending that someone will see them and be caused alarm or distress. This bill simply Robloxifies it. And it just makes so the law can be enforced in Roblox. In terms of the Magna Carta, I really don't see how building bridges is relevant here. The only bridges the Conservative Party is building is the bridge to inactivity. And they stopped building that because they require a workforce to build a bridge. And the Conservatives are more inactive than my nan, and she's currently in an urn. So I'm not too sure why it has discord and decency on it, to be fair. But I recommend the Honourable Lord propose an amendment. If he's, I'm not too sure if he's aware he can actually do that now. I remember when the Right Honourable Lord. I remember when the Right Honourable Lord was Prime Minister. So I'm sure. I think he was Prime Minister of this group. I can't quite remember.
A very, very long time ago. Yes.
Yeah, like yonks ago, back when PB was active. But I'm sure he's aware of his legislative capabilities of amending bills prior to the third reading. So if he wants to do that, like right now, and propose an amendment to this House, it will be heard.
I'm sure the honourable member, I have served with him quite a lot, but there is just some things that need to be re-legislated into Roblox, and some things that are best left not. And this right here is a moderation issue. If this is brought before CPS, they should be taking it to Frost, not the courts. Because you would end up breaking this rule by giving evidence. Because that's the fundamental way the courts work, as I'm sure the member knows. You know, you give a piece of evidence. Well, that giving that piece of evidence, there's nothing in here that protects the courts from being prosecuted for this, because all it says is an individual who posts sexually explicit content will be guilty of an offence. That any individual, and that's that'll be in any server, as the above one says. Any individual who engages in sexually explicit conversations in any affiliated server will be guilty of an offence. That would also be done in the courts. So you don't really want judges being locked up for doing their job. Now, an individual who intentionally exposes their Roblox body as guilty of offence, it doesn't really specify exposure. Like, are we saying, are we putting in Sharia law here? Is it anyone who's got anything other than a burqa exposing their body? or what are we going for? Because it just says with human skin color. Well, I've got human skin color on right now, and so does the member opposite, so does the clerk, so does Baldy, so does the member of the development team over here. Would we all be in violation of this law? Because under its current writing, we are. Any individual committing sexual acts in public will be guilty of an offence. I don't know how many of you here have been in a military, mainly Paras with ACS unit, but we would be guilty of that offence. Any individual who abuses the avatar section of Roblox page to appear with a sexually explicit content, it doesn't define it. It doesn't define what a sexually explicit is. All right, like if someone pulls up in a bikini, is that sexually explicit? That is by it's not. It's something for someone else to define. It's what's the word? Opinion, you know, because like go back a few hundred years, showing your ankles was a bit too far. Send some people over the edge, but in this day and age, anything could be whatever. And any individuals appearing in game wearing sexually suggesting clothing will be guilty of an offence, including femboy clothing. So this is weird. This is an extremely weird bill. And I don't know. I don't know why this was proposed. Who was it proposed by? Presented by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister needs to lay off the pot, I think. And stop proposing useless bills, because this has no place in Roblox and it's totally undefined and
Motion for
unregulated, and it's just not very good bill. I'd like to propose amendments. I would like to propose to amend this bill and remove sections 3 through 1 entirely, and instead replace it with section 1. Section 1, any individual who breaks the Discord terms of service or Roblox terms of service will be guilty of an offence and banned from any Discord server, or kicked or taken appropriate action by the Discord regulations.
Why have you refreshed me? Motion to
Because
vote.
I updated your title, but it didn't work. The question is on agreeing to.
Hold on, I motion to amend. No one heard me.
Yes,
You
I
do
know.
that before the third reading, you sausage.
Oh yeah, that's true. Right, well, technically it goes second reading committee of the whole house, then third reading considers amendments.
Yes.
Did I just see?
Okay, just
Is this the second
vote,
or
I
third
beg.
reading?
This is
Second.
the third question. Oh, this is second. Yes, we'll get to the amendment next time. Question is that the bill be read a second time. My lords, in favor of the opinion, say content. To the contrary, not content. I think the contents haven't the bill.
Division, sir. I say division.
That's not your choice to make.
I think we should clear the lobbies.
The contents of it. The bill is read a second time. Now move on to the third reading and consideration of amendments. The Earl of Wiltshire may present his amendment.
I will present this amendment, and it's very simple. Remove all the sections. Replace section 1 with any individual who breaks the Discord or Roblox terms of service will be taken appropriate action by the moderation of the United Kingdom. And that would be the end of my bill. Thank you. So do please suggest we take these amendments into consideration. If not, just nay the bill. That was nice. Thank you.
Motion to vote.
There a second. The question is on the amendment. My lord's content of that opinion shall say content.
Hold on. Majorca doesn't even know what we're voting on. He's not even to call, is he?
Oh, never mind. He can talk if he wants.
Oh, no,
Go
he
for it,
doesn't have the
Majorca.
right. He's not allowed to talk. He's
Also,
disqualified from talking.
He's not in this. I'm not in BC, so I'm doing this. He doesn't know what bill we're on.
Yeah, he doesn't know what we're doing.
Majorca.
Did it work now?
Hold on. Point of order, Mr.
Yeah, it worked.
Point of order, Mr. Clerk.
No.
No. I've got a big point of order for you.
Go.
Mr. Clerk.
Point of order.
The member opposite, unless he's changing his clothes right now, is wearing. Okay, I withdraw it.
Well, yeah, I was fucking,
we're just ignoring him.
refreshed in the middle of the session.
Yes, I updated your title for you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Right, I
Motion
motion
to
to
vote.
vote on my amendment.
Is there a second? Somebody second the damn vote. Motion. Oh my god, what the fuck was that?
Second.
My lords, the question arises on agreeing to amendment. My lords, in favor of the amendment, say content. To the contrary, not content. Division, clear the lobby.
Very
To
funny.
what lobbies?
That's a great question. Let's just
Well,
count.
there's
Um,
two contents and
yeah.
one non-content.
I think the contents have it. The contents have it. The amendment is agreed to. The question, my lords, the question now arises that the bill be read a third time, my lords. In favor of that opinion, say content. Wait, are there actually lobbies?
I don't know.
I'm not content. I'm not content.
Oh, there is a lobby.
I do not content all bills unless they're mine.
There are lobbies. Wow. Okay. The question, my lords. The question is.
We've already said not content.
Time.
All of us
My
said not
lords.
content.
Okay, the bill shall not be read a third time.
We have one more bill to do.
Do we?
No, that was the last one. Public indecency was the last one.
No, it's one that I forgot about, and it's.
Can someone get Doc Henders?
I'll send it in the Lord's Chamber. It's the Succession of Titles Bill 2024.
I'm not entertaining. Don't entertain him. Okay, first reading. First reading to the House.
My lords, the second reading of the Succession of Titles Bill will be now.
We now comes to the second reading of the Succession of Titles Bill. The clerk will read the long title. A bill to make provision for the succession of titles involving the regulation and administration of inheritance of peerages, baronetcies, and other hereditary honors, and for connected purposes.
John's not in the BC. Oh my god.
He's a keyboard warrior. It's fine.
Well, yeah, you can't hear us, so I'm not typing in chat.
Raise a point of order. He can't sit under the Impartiality Protections Act. Somebody raise a point of order
Point
that
of
he can't
order.
be sitting.
Hold on. No,
Go.
no. You don't need to say my name.
Go.
I-
Point
He's
of order.
been
Go.
fucking outed.
Yeah, okay, I've joined.
I withdraw.
Right. Hello.
Aren't you like not allowed to sit?
The succession of bills, the succession of title bills, is to put into provision that of how the titles can be succeeded. So in the bill, it says that there must be a public registry which allows for people to know whose heir is for which title and etc. It also oh god, I haven't actually looked at this bill in a long time. Give me a second, sorry. It also
You wrote
allows
it.
titles which are revoked for the heir to sort of regain that title by a petition to the Crown, and then if the Crown sees fit to restore that title, then it will be restored, and they will go down as the number after their Roblox father. It also amends the Removal of Titles Act, which omits Section 1, subsection 2A, which prevents Her Majesty from revoking titles at her discretion, and then that means that only the Removal of Titles Committee would be able to forward the advice to Her Majesty to remove a title, or by the entire Parliament provide an Act of Parliament to remove a title. With that being said, I sincerely hope that the House, yes, it does have the monarch's consent. When I proposed this, yeah, it does have the monarch's. It has the Queen's consent, so not to worry.
Just remember the Commons is the
Yeah,
other place.
Pardon?
The Commons is the other place. I don't want to hear that name uttered again, please.
Who said that?
Me.
No, I mean, who said Commons?
You, I think.
No, I
Did you
didn't.
say Commons? Oh.
Anyways, I sincerely hope that this House contents the bill, as it not only puts into provision of how a title can be succeeded, it allows for the heir of a revoked title to petition to the Crown. With that being said, I do hope that this House sees fit to content the bill. Thank you.
Say my name. All right. My lords, I love this bill. Earlier I spoke of Magna Carta. I love the Magna Carta. And this is very Magna Carta friendly. In fact, it's so Magna Carta friendly, it implores me to get rid of un-Magna Carta legislation. So I do hope that the honourable member will accept my soon-to-be amendment to this bill, which would in fact revoke the entire removal of titles bill, because it is a very un-Magna Carta bill. And as Magna Carta was our very first piece of legislation of this part of Parliament, I do not believe that we should be harming the Magna Carta in the meantime. All right. So when this gets to the third reading, you can expect an amendment from me.
Isn't the
Shut
third
up.
reading also today?
Yes.
My lords, yes, third reading will be today. My lords, the government's opinion is clear on this bill. We have supported this bill since it entered this chamber, and we've supported this bill since the noble lord who doesn't have the right to speak, but is speaking, has presented it. I personally believe that this bill is needed to ensure the succession of titles, especially hereditary peerages, is a role play type thing where heirs can be proposed and put on. So if someone Lego dies or leaves the group, there is someone to succeed that hereditary title to. Yes, we have hereditary peers, but up until now there has not been a system of heirs. Just my one point to the noble, right honourable, right lord officer.
I am right honourable, thank you.
I literally just said that, mate. Open your ear holes.
No.
If he wants to propose an amendment that repeals an entire real life act, I just simply
No.
politely ask him to
The Removal of Titles Act is not a in real life act. It's one of the
Yes.
first acts that was passed in Project Britannia.
It was one of the Kobe acts, but it is very anti-Magna Carta.
In that case, I just ask him to politely wait until the next session to propose a bill that would repeal that in its entirety, so every member of this right honourable house has the chance to review that very old piece of legislation and see if it should be repealed or not.
All right.
But it's up to him.
I will be quoting the Magna Carta in my bill. I realise that.
If he wants to quote the Magna Carta in a bill, then I think he should make. I think he should make a bill himself. In terms of that, but in
Magna
terms of this bill,
Carta
I believe this bill is very good. The government's position is clear on this bill. It's a very good bill, and we believe everyone should content this bill.
The question is that the bill be read a second time. My lords, in favour of that opinion, say content.
And
My lords opposed to that opinion say not content. I think the contents have it. The contents have it. The bill is read a second time. The House now comes to the third reading of the Succession of Titles Bill 2024.
Motion to vote.
motion to vote. Seconded.
The question arises to the House that the bill be read a third time. My lords, in favour of that opinion, say content. To the contrary, not content.
Motion to adjourn.
I
You
haven't
don't
finished the damn vote yet. I think the contents have it. The bill is read a third time and will be sent to Her Majesty the Queen for royal assent. Whippy!
No, okay. I guess the House of Commons doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, sorry.
Motion to adjourn.
My
It will be
lords,
deported to the Commons.
with nothing else on the order of business, I motion to adjourn.
The House do now adjourn. Order.
Doc,
Order.
we need your public indecency bill.
Tell me which one's got nade, and I will.
Look at Lord announcements.
Rick.
Oh, you'll let me know. Great.
Actually, no, I didn't amend it in the end.